just want you to walk me through how you see what's happening right now in the Saudi market, because you have oil prices stuck pretty firmly around $40 a barrel. We've seen significant changes in the way that the Saudi finance minister, frankly, has structured the budget, given the COVID pandemic. Where are we headed in terms of that exchange? Because there was so much excitement around this time last year with, of course, the launch of Aramco.
Correct, Hadley. So the Saudi market has a bit gotten ahead of itself. And in the sense that, people always correlate the Saudi market with oil prices. And if you look at oil prices, but more importantly, oil revenue than oil prices, because oil prices are down about 35%, but oil revenue, which is one of the main component provider of the budget in Saudi Arabia, is down about 50%. We're about short of 6 million barrels sold a year at a way cheaper price, two-thirds of what you used to sell it for. So, and I think this is the big gap. But if you look at the Saudi market, Tadawul, we're up. We're a market that's still up about 2.5% year to date, in a way that's a bit unwarranted if you look at the oil equation and considering what's happened. So even before pre-COVID in February, the Saudi market was down about 9-10%. So it looks like COVID was a good thing, despite everything, which is kind of from a pure fundamental perspective, not right. So there's a bit of a multiple expansion, a bit of frenzy. We see the liquidity that has spiked up in a huge retail participation. Saudi liquidity has gone from $800 million a day to about $3.5 billion a day, levels unheard of, literally, for the past 10, 15 years now. Maybe about 13 years ago, we've seen such levels, and that was a huge frenzy that basically led to a huge implosion of the Saudi market. So there's a big multiple. It's trading at a big multiple to the emerging market index. There's a big disconnect with oil. So it's not really ticking on fundamental like maybe the whole world today.
Fadi, when you think about this with regards to what's happening in the United States right now, all eyes, of course, on the U.S. presidential election and, frankly, on the foreign policy debate that's supposed to be taking place a few hours from now, with all of those wonderful new gadgets of muting both the president and Joe Biden if they go over their time. But with regards to Saudi Arabia specifically, obviously what happens in Saudi Arabia with regards to oil prices and investment obviously weighs on the market. Who's better for higher prices, Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, there was a big narrative for Biden about the fracking, about canceling fracking and so on, which was obviously in a way a good thing for Saudi Arabia if you look at it. Even though from a geopolitical standpoint, a lot of people associated the current administration to I would say more friendly one from a political standpoint to the Arab world and to the GCC particularly. So in that perspective, it's a pro and con. That being said, if you look at most of the regimes in this part of the world, I mean, there's no specific preference for a candidate. It's more of an establishment, institutional type of ties between, I would say, and historical allies between, for example, Saudi and the U.S. administration. Whether it's a different face, I don't think this will change much.